So I'll be honest, this class today is really dedicated to a topic I've been working on with a student who knows who he is, where what we found was that a lot of the things pronunciation wise he's doing are fine, but when we're talking about trying to link together thought groups, join together parts of our sentences, whenever we're speaking American English, we're running into a difficulty where we're always relying on a single tactic that works. And that tactic involves dragging sounds because it's a way to show, for instance, uncertainty or to show that you're just not done talking. So it's a common strategy. A lot of times you'll see it with like rising intonation, doing things like I don't know if it'll work, like something like that, where you can hear that like if, where we kind of drag it out. But there are other ways to join thought groups together too. And so today, that is something that we're going to be discussing. We're going to be comparing two different strategies for joining thought groups together in a sentence, for joining parts of your sentence when you speak in American English. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show. Wake up, American. We're here Monday through Friday, typically around 8 a.m. New York, to make sure that you can get in your 5 or 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for the day. And to join you in this process, there is me. Hello. My name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That is one of the four keys for a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath. Trying to weaken your consonant sounds and to strengthen your vowel sounds. And today, we got Milad in the house. Great to see you, sir. And if you're with us, I see some other people are here too. Feel free to say hey, because it'd be great to chat with you a little bit this morning. All right, so here are some sentences, and what we're going to do is we're just going to compare reading them two different ways. Okay, we're going to do it with a drag between the thought groups, and then we're going to do it without the drag. And I want you to kind of note the difference in sound that it makes, but I also want you to note the difference in feel that it makes, because all of these things can have an impact on the significance of a sentence and what a sentence means. Everything you've probably seen in languages that it's not just about the words you use, it's about how you say them that can convey different meanings. Because you can have the same sentence, like you can say like, oh my gosh, or you can say, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. Like all of those mean different things. It's the same words, but just by changing the pitch, how you hold things, the volume, all of these things impact the meaning that you are giving to your listener. So let's take a look at our first one here. And again, the first time we do a sentence, we're going to drag. And then the second time, we're going to not drag. So we have this sentence. If you don't want to go, don't. So that's our sentence there. Two thought groups. First one being, if you don't want to go. The second one being, don't. So let's do this with a drag on go. So for instance, if you don't want to go, don't. If you don't want to go, don't. And try to shadow what I did with me. Try to repeat after me and see if you can capture the same sound. Hello also to Kyle. Ira, great to see you once more. Always a pleasure. So that was with a drag, right? If you don't want to go, don't. Now let's do that without the drag. If you don't want to go, don't. If you don't want to go, don't. Hear the difference? If you don't want to go, 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 hear the difference there. These have different meanings, right? What I think you often find is that when you don't drag, it makes it sound a little sharper, a little firmer. Okay. Whereas when you drag, it can make things sound a little less certain, potentially friendlier, potentially more hesitant, and things like that. Different feels, which may be appropriate for different situations, right? How about our next one? Our next one, let's treat each section with a comma as its own little thought group. Okay, so we have, I got a couch, a table, a chair. So let's do it the first way with a drag. I got a couch, a table, a chair. Okay, and one thing I'm doing there, you hear me using rising intonation on all of them. What that implies is that your list is still going. Because if I say I got a couch, a table, a chair, or I might say a couch, a table, and a chair, something like that. But if I want that list to feel like it's longer, What I might do is I might just use rising intonation for everything, and I might remove the and. And this implies maybe I got other stuff too. So I got a couch, a table, a chair. See, we're dragging. I got a couch, a table, a chair. Okay. Let's compare that though to without the drag. Let's remove the drag on each of those. I got a couch, a table, a chair. I got a couch, a table, a chair. Let's do some direct comparisons. I got a couch, a table, a chair. I got a couch, a table, a chair. Okay. Both of these can work. Neither one of them is wrong. It depends on the situation, right? And the dynamics you're using. But I want you to be able to use both in your own speech and see how it goes for you. We have two more examples. I do just want to highlight one thing that if you are practicing these with me and you want to get feedback to see if you're doing this in a way that sounds natural, just want to remind you that we have a pronunciation group on Telegram. In the Telegram group, what happens is you send in audio files and I give you feedback. I let you know, hey, that sounds good. Hey, maybe we want to make some adjustments in pitch or your vowels or your placement, things like that. So if you're trying to study pronunciation accurately, you're trying to make sure that as you're practicing, you're saying things correctly, this is your opportunity. I know we have some people here who are actually members. Speaking of which, ciao Mattia, tutto a posto? Good to see you. Thanks for being with us today. All right, let's continue with our stream. Oh, in case that sounds interesting to you about the group, you can go to fluentamerican.com/telegram to register. Just a note on that. All right, let's wrap up with our last two. So this next one. We have whenever he makes it, first thought group, let him in, second thought group. So let's begin with the drag. It's like, whenever he makes it, let him in. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Makes it, you can hear it, makes it, that little waver there, right? And that little drag. Let's try not dragging. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Let's do both of those. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Sorry, I know we just had a little bit of a spike. Let's do that part again. Sorry, I know we had a spike, so I'm going to do that part again. So we're going to do a drag first and the not drag. So whenever he makes it, let him in. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Let's do that one more time. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Whenever he makes it, let him in. Here's the difference there. And our last sentence here. We have the last time I saw them, they were this big. Last time I saw them, they were this big. So let's do that with a little bit more of a drag. The last time I saw them, they were this big. The last time I saw them, they were this big. Now let's remove the drag. The last time I saw them, they were this big. The last time I saw them, they were this big. Now let's compare that more directly. The last time I saw them, they were this big. Last time I saw them, they were this big. Okay, can you hear the little bit of a difference there when you're linking? So, when you're practicing thought groups and when you're practicing your sentences, just kind of experiment to see what works best for your sentence. Will drag work best? Will just kind of cutting the drag out, will that work better for you? If you're shadowing, I encourage you to see what is your model doing? The person you're using for shadowing, what are they doing when they talk? Are they dragging when they say the sentence or the thought group? Or are they just kind of moving right ahead without much of a hesitation? Study it, take a look at it. If you have questions about it, I'm going to be happy to answer them. You can put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll see you all later. Look, thank you for spending part of your day with me. There's a million pronunciation resources out there, so the fact that you decided to spend some time with me this morning or whatever time it is in your part of the world, I greatly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more Wake Up American. I will see you all later. I hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. You all take care, and we will see you next time.